Welcome back, everybody, and thanks for staying with us. So, round number 2, all the results are in, and I can tell you that Top 10 Dad Betrayals has taken out the win over Onyx Esports. Team DC managed to snag a win over the Midnights. Milkshake snagging their second win for the evening over Nova and Out. Scripps and Scrubs, that action-packed battle we just saw on Tomb of the Spider Queen, with them coming out as the victors. And NMD have taken out the win against Capital. So I hope everybody has typed in !GS Hots, because we're about to draw the winner for a Genji or Diva bundle. The winner will get to choose, first come, first served. And I'm just waiting for the raffle to close. And congratulations, Shadowism, for winning either a Genji or Diva bundle. Please hop on Gamestar's Discord and PM Crisis to claim your prize. So without further ado, there will be there will be more prizes available, so we will reopen the raffle. There's going to be 2 more draws for this evening, so don't be afraid if you haven't won anything. Don't be disillusioned, because we've got plenty more. Just wait for the raffle to open, !GS Hots. And then the next map that we're going to move on to will be everybody's favorite, Shire. And without further ado, I'm going to hand you over to Kitfox and Disconcur.
Thank you so much, Vandy, for that lovely introduction. Congratulations to everybody who's entered the giveaways tonight. We've got plenty more of them to give away. !GS Hots, and it's all possible thanks to Blizzard ANZ. Without them, this would not be possible. You would not be getting all that free swag. My name's Kitfox. I'm going to be your play-by-play caster, and joining me once again for the second time tonight here on Shire for a bit of DK action, it is Disconcur.
Hey, Kitfox, I'm back. I'm excited. Well, let's do this. Let's just get into it. We're ready. I'm ready. You're ready.
Oh,
We're
yes.
ready. We are all ready.
God damn, I was born ready for this. I cannot wait. I love me a bit of Shire. It's probably my second favorite behind Tomb of the Spider Queen, just because I love the proverbial game of chess that goes on in a vertical line down the middle of the map. I mean, it really does excite me, and not only for this map, but for all of the maps through Heroes of the Storm, that every single one is unique. And that's what I love about it.
This map really showcases everything as well. That's like the cool thing about it. That out of a sea of uniqueness, this is the map that really showcases your understanding of lane control, lane priority, rotation, capturing points, split push, split. So it's just all there. So it's a great map. It's one of the greatest maps to see teams really play on, see if they really understand what's going on.
So Nova and Out.
The
Nova and Out lads, they're hovering Brightwing here. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, well, that's what I was going to say. That's not traditional. I mean, the only thing that they might be, if they're looking at less of, say, meta bans or picks, obviously, the Uther, the new Rectorial things that come to mind for first banning.
Okay.
Again, Sylvanas still not very meta, but when you look at bans like this, they're choosing to not play against a particular style.
Yeah.
That's what they're going for. They're going for, right, look, our meta play might not be good, but we suffer against this split push composition. Let's remove Sylvanas. Let's make it not an option. Greymane is not normally seen so high on the priority, but the opposite could be said in the other side. They're going, well, we don't want a dive comp. So there's something that they're thinking of taking. They don't want to challenge or go against up into a Greymane. So they're interesting bans. They're off meta, but it shows the teams are thinking something. They're thinking of a composition they don't want to fight.
Disco, do you think it might have been just a little bit of a trash ban or a bait ban to ban Sylvanas and then pinch the Anubarak away?
You know what? It is possible. The only thing is, like, you could do anything, right? You could ban out almost any hero in that sense to keep the Anubarak.
Yeah.
Really, it doesn't matter what you ban. The opposition can go, well, we can drop Anubarak if we want. If we don't want you to play Anubarak, we can ban it. Yeah, you're not going to really be swayed. Oriole leaving. Cool picks. Genuinely with Oriole, you want to combine her with a mage that's doing a lot of AoE damage all the time. Leeming can provide that, but not in a consistent sense. But she does so much burst damage that she could be the hope generation for Oriole if they can't go into something like Valor or a better traditional sport like they're not going to go Gul'dan. Leeming Gul'dan, they could, but I don't see that happening. So they could pick up the Oriole, they pick up the Valor to tag with the Oriole. That's something that the blue side needs to think about.
I mean, 2 batteries. If you're playing Oriole and you've got 2 batteries like that, I mean, it's just double A's. I mean, you love it because you just have never-ending hope. You're able to dish out never-ending heals, and the Li Ming pick shows balls. Anubarak is staring them in the face, and the top 10 dad betrayals have gone, I don't care if you picked the number 1 anti-mage in the tank. I don't care if they're able to shut me down. And now Uther and Murky. This is going to be an interesting game, Disco, if anything.
Yeah, it's so they're going to have a strong push in the bottom lane, where we probably should see Murky sort of positioned in. Leaving that bottom lane alone is going to be a bad option. Murky has to be really annoying on the points. But banning out Cho.
What?
There is some potential play with Cho and the Oriole. That was let's call it the day one combo for Oriole or Chogo, who I can't remember the timings of them, but you'd pair them up. Chogo had heaps of health and did a lot of damage. It was 2 heroes feeding Oriole, so
I'll allow it.
Potential play, but they could just be. I'm starting to lean away that maybe they're not thought out bands, thought out selections here, but there is some merit. Kitfox, let's say that there is some merit to a Chol goal ban.
I love how you're trying so hard to analyze it and doing a fantastic job, mind you. But I think that's a bit of a laugh. Yeah. Bit of BM
earlier, so
bit of BM coming out from the Nova and out lads. But Sylvanas and Cho taken off the board now. It'll be interesting to see if they can actually capitalize on this Anubarak. With Murky, there's not really a lot. I was going to say not really a lot of lockdown to follow up from the Anubarak Impales, but you do have that Hammer of Justice from Uther. Now, Johanna and Cassia being locked in here for top 10 to complement Oriel and Li Ming. So, again, you could throw that crown onto Cassia, and Cassia deals a lot of damage as well. I mean, so Oriel's going to be loving this.
It's not as good, to be honest. Cassia is not as good as Valor, but if they don't have a confident Valor player, Cassia is not a bad replacement, and she does offer a couple of extra bits and pieces that would be really nice to line up. So it does fit in. You can obviously see the Johanna, she does a condemn, and the Cassia follows up with her attack. Great, big AoE. Again, Valor would have been nicer. Yeah, I can see the Cassia. Now this is weird. I really like Nova and Out's draft so far, except for the Murky, but it's still playing to that that split lane pressure. Murky is going to be such an annoyance in whatever lane they go in that it works. Thrall's a great bruiser. Dahaka's a great off tank as well to give them split soak. So they've got the tools. It's all there for our Nova and Out.
I mean, Disco, last week we saw a Zagara come out on, I believe it was Towers of Doom, and we called it from the start. That specialist play, that split pushing and untouched split pushing is what was going to win that game, and it did. Now, do you think that Nova and Out would possibly be trying to emulate that sort of gameplay? Because Murky, not really good for controlling points, especially with a point that you need to cap, like the points on Dragonshire.
Murky can be annoying in the sense, so I wouldn't count out his capability just yet. But yeah, he's not going to be capping anything, but he is going to be an annoyance factor. What we really need to see out of Betrayals here is they've got they don't have a good solo laner right now. That's what they're missing. Thrall and Dahaka are great solo laners. Chen, this is going to be interesting. He's traditionally seen that solo lane to harass whoever the other person is, because obviously he can, flying kick into someone like Throw or Dahaka. When they start to do damage, he can put on his shield. Thrall, it's not a problem. Dahaka with the tongue can interrupt the shield and generally pull him back into the towers. So, if the solo laner in top is Dahaka, which is a strong possibility, we don't see Betrayals really have anything to handle the solo lane in the top.
Murky, all eyes are going to be on Gorgorath on Murky here for Nova Out. Well, let's see what they can do. We're loading into game number 3 of the official Blizzard ANZ HGC qualifiers here on GameStar TV. It is Nova and Out versus the top 10 Dad Betrayals. Nova and Out on Team Blue is Iota on Anubarak, St. Oz on Dahaka, Dilstar on Uther, Gorgorath on Murky, and Slapchop on Thrall.
That's right, and over on Betrayals, we got Li Ming. He's being played by Shell. Chen is being played by Brady. Johanna is playing by... I still haven't learned to say his character's name properly. So let's just go with Squiddy. And then we've got Cassie. So bad with names. Cassie is being played by Trashboat, and Oriel is Cook.
Cook on Oriel, Squirty on Johanna. Well, I'll give you a tick on that one, Disco. Well done. You pass. You can now build blocks with Lego in the corner, away from the other kids, please. No, I'm kidding, mate. We love you. We love everything that you've done so far, and we love the qualifiers that are coming up as well. So the teams that don't actually get the opportunity to qualify through our competition, there is that one-day qualifier coming up this weekend, I believe. Disco, you got your hands busy with that one.
There is. So it's don't forget about the ESL qualifier happening this weekend. Top 2 teams get into the finals for season 3.
Nomia are back.
Nomia, that's going to be the big team of the weekend. But who knows? Maybe you can dethrone Nomia. But less about dethroning Nomia and more about dethroning this Dragon Knight. Who's gonna attack first?
Well, Cassia throwing out the opening throw with that strike. St. Oz decides to face check in the bush. Squirty with the condemn, and Thrall does actually get the root off. But it's not going to be enough. There's not a lot of damage on the side of Nova and Out just to open things up. Top 10, they've got the advantage here on paper so far this year.
I don't know if I 100% agree with that.
Look at the Nova though. Where is their damage going to come from?
Well, that's where they've got Thrall, and they've also got the Haka for locking down. So there's a lot of damage that's going to be all in the favor of the Thrall. So yeah, I guess I will put that one back to you. But I don't know. I mean, Thrall is pretty powerful. Look at those big plays there. So this is a big change that happened to Murky Guard in the bottom lane. Who cares? Look at the big change with Thrall is that his Feral Wolves now, Spirit Wolves, actually continue to travel through the hero hit. So it can lock down multiple opponents. That's a huge mechanic, because that's massive amount of lockdown to follow into damage.
I mean, if he does, I mean, Murky's gone again. Yeah, Murky keeps going down. It's Murky. He'll die lots and lots of times before this game is through. But what I like about what I don't like about the Uther is that he has to get in extremely close to do a lot of damage. And now there's a fight breaking out in the top lane. St. Oz taking a fair bit of damage, but he does actually get the Shrine over in his favour. But the top 10 Dad Betrayals, they're going to be able just to pull that one back as Kook in the mid lane just stopped the sneaky St. Oz Brush Stalker from taking the DK.
Yeah, it was really good positioning there by Oriel staying in the mid lane, especially the fact that her team did rotate to the top to try and score a kill. But
damage in the mid lane. The drag comes out from the trash pod. Slapchop escapes with a sliver of his life. It's like the last bit of ice cream in the tub. You think it's there, and then it's not. But for Slapchop, luckily, it was there. And now there's a bit of an exchange going on in the bot lane again. Gorgorath and Brady. But like we said, Murky's not going to be able to control these points, especially when you've got somebody who has amazing sustain like Chen. Now Io comes down just to offer a little bit of assistance. But he just chugs on that keg. He just throws out the flame breath, and it's just too easy for Chen down there in the bot lane at the moment.
Betrayals is doing a great job just out-rotating Nova at the moment.
Well, I was going to say St. Oz in that top lane taking a lot of damage from Shelt, who's had a bit of a hard time, it must be said, taking the Shrine, taking a lot of damage from a lot of points of origin. But in the bot lane, Brady's taking some damage of his own. Gorgorath has got some help. Dilstar and Slapchop combined to take him down. But a little bit of a consolation for the top 10 Dad Betrayals. They do have the DK, and he is stomping his way to top.
Yeah, he saw him all in the bottom lane. He was like, well, I'm just going to rush up the top, and you're going to do a big, massive rotation to actually try and get the DK down. Look at their level lead right now coming out of Betrayals. It's already going to be about an extra level in a second.
Squiddy does actually opt for a wolf, but the best thing about the DK is he's completely immune to stuns. Hey, you gotta love that. You gotta absolutely love the amount this man is absolutely able to dish out. Now, Iota goes in for his own with a burrow, does land on Kook. Squiddy with a nice bunt away there. Dillstar is now coming in on the action, takes a lot of damage. Squiddy on that DK though is just unable to be stopped at the moment.
Yeah, that's a...
Oh, and Nubarak gets punted through the big sticks. Squirty with the headbutt sends him flying, and poor Nova and out are at a man disadvantage again. A level disadvantage as well, and a talent here. It's not looking good if you're an over and out fan. Murky again in the bot lane going down. The egg is very, very close.
Murky's doing a lot of... Like, he's being an annoying factor in the bottom lane, but every time he dies, he's giving up a teeny tiny amount of experience. But then he's also losing a little bit of soak for his team. Oh, what? Well, that's a little bit. And it's consistent. There was no one in the middle lane for a long time for Nova and out, and they just took so long. The DK died of old age, Kitfox. Not because they killed it. It died of old age.
That's how you know you've got the most value out of the DK, when the enemy team is unable to kill it. Oh, Shelt just doing the work here with those gleaming orbs. The arcane orbs is so strong. Kook with the taming strikes as well, and Iota tries to burrow away. And through the trees, it would seem, and Uberak goes down. Slapchop on the thrall. I think the draft has sort of hamstrung them a little bit here in over and out, lads. I mean, the drag comes out from St. Oz. It did actually catch Johanna, though, who was just able to pop Iron Skin and get away. Another detainment strike. And top 10 Dabatrons are actually going to steal the Bruiser camps away here from Nova and out. More damage being thrown out again. And the Sacred Sweep from Kook just doing work. I mean, for an Oriel, he is constantly full hope, is constantly on the front line. It's almost like a training exercise for the man.
It's what separates like a alright Oriel from the good Orioles from the great Orioles, is that your Sacred Sweep generates so much hope. Yeah. So getting it out, getting those big hits, gives you so much, gives that extra boost.
Oh, the Blessed Shield comes out from Squiddy. It did collect 3, and so much damage coming out here from top 10 Betrayals. They have got a 2-level advantage, and poor old Nova and out at level 8, still yet to hit level 10. Top 10 Betrayals about to hit level 11. The wave in this top lane is astounding. They really need to send Gorgoroth up there, throw out a few puffer fishes, because he's just getting mincemeat made out of him down there. Could you say it's merch cheese down in the bot lane?
Oh, let's just say Chen eats well tonight. That's a lot of sushi you'll be cooking up. And Daha can finally rotate down to do something, but there's a massive... This is... They've got the level damage, right?
It's ruthless.
Level damage. Easy, they can go in Betrayals. There's no betraying over here. This is all top-notch murdering going on, but...
Normally, I don't know if they could march this one the whole way through, because there's another exchange going on. Slapchop taking a lot of damage. Impale comes out from Iota, and the Feral Wolf actually finds 3 there, so well done from Slapchop. Saves his team. Iota manages to burrow away, but that top keeper's gone down Disco, and just over 7 minutes into this game.
And it was over it's over what a lot of people dubbed the throw bridge as well.
Brady's gonna fall. No! Pandapal, sorry to cut you off, but there's a skirmish down in the bot lane. Pandapals have been popped from Brady. Gorgoroth and St. Oz going hammer and tong away at him. And at about 1 health, Brady was able to get it off. He needs to focus down St. Oz because Gorgoroth can just come back so fast. Brady, look at that HP, just manages to get away. Kook comes down now into support, but St. Oz and Gorgoroth, in a fight that you think they should have won, Brady just turned the tide. Now Squirty comes down to join them, gets the crown from Oriel, and Iota now in the front line manages to burrow, and there goes the orb from Trash Boat just bouncing around, doing a lot of damage, and that's what we love about Cassia. And at level 20, that orb is going to be, it's going to have unlimited bounce and unlimited damage, but there we go, the Earthquake comes in from Thrall, but a Divine, was that a Divine shield? It was coming out from Uther, so fantastic play. Finally, Thrall goes down. This is good from top 10 Betrayals, but even, it's good from Nova and out, but even better from top 10 Betrayals. Billstar's going to go down. Nova and out, just falling like 10 pins. Schult is just the back line, throwing out those disintegrates, gleaming, getting the resets, forcing the Brush Stalker out of St. Oz. They're going to get themselves both of the shrines. The DK is lighting up for them. This is not good for Nova and out.
We talked about where was Nova and Out's damage earlier, and I said, oh, I think they should be fine. Not when they're 3 levels down, they won't be. A tier talent down, 3 levels down. That was a savage beating just then. If they were equal level, it actually would have been a pretty good fight, just with amount of damage actually coming out. But you saw then, they just, like a lot of the players on Betrayals were so close to dying. But no one, like Oriole did, that's about it.
Squiddy charges Gorgoroth on Murky as the DK and does 3/4 of his health. That is just unreal. I know it's Murky, but it's just unreal. And again, another bunt comes out from the man as they turn their sights down to the bot lane, but they're going for St. Oz, who's brushstalked around the back. Cocoon finds a fantastic target. Who's that? I did actually see the name of it. I believe it was the support action for Cocoon there, but the invulnerable does come out from Murky. St. Oz is careful. It was actually Dual Star that got himself to Cocoon. And now we can see that ball lightning just doing so much damage. Shelt on the back line is just pressing R and aiming mouse 1. So good from the leaning on the back line, just dishing out the damage. And this is very, very close to GG from here. 3-level advantage. I was going to say soon to be 4, but Oriole actually did get cheekily taken out there.
It was a bit of a weird start to that fight. Because speaking of Oriole, she actually got an Uther stun and then a Cocoon. So Nova and Out not quite, playing their abilities correctly. Because they did want to lock down Oriole like that for so long. They needed to Cocoon her. They didn't use the stun coming out.
Oh! Blessed Shield comes out from Squiddy. Murky gets melted. Murk shimmy indeed. Now Thrall decides to join him on the sidelines. Shelt is just throwing them out, forcing the burrow out of St. Oz. The Trash Bow is just so good. The Lightning Fury too strong from him. The Q finding its mark. Ball Lightning as well doing so much damage we saw in the previous fights. Gorgoroth finally on the Murky. He needs something. They need something from their specialist hero because at the moment he's just food.
He is a dish best served cold. That is 100% correct there, Kitfox. And it's a lovely little push in the bottom lane with those Siege Giants.
Just the sacred sweeps from Oriole are just so good. I mean, it does more and gains more hope in the center, and I don't think Kook has missed one of those tonight. Like you said, separating the wheat from the chaff, the man from the boys, the good Orioles from the great Orioles. Kook has played it very well.
Especially since he's blinding. When he does do his sacred sweeps, he does get his blinding flash at 13. So it's actually blinding the targets that he's in the center. That, again, it's just countering more damage that could be coming out of Noma and Out. And that's a little bit of a resource denial at the moment for them, is that they don't have damage. And the fact that that's compounded by levels, the fact that they're compounded by blinds, it's a really tough game for them.
You've got Blinding Light as well from Cassia, and now Iota is wishing that he did not just burrow into the opposing team because he's been melted, and here go Nova and Out, getting absolutely dunked upon. A good divine storm actually coming out from Billstar, catching 4 members, just like that. Oh, well, St. Oz did actually manage to recover there with adaptation, so well done, but Nova and Out are going for top 10 Betrayals to get themselves a full 5-man wipe. That one leaves a scar.
It really hurts now. I mean, when you get to this stage, the 4-level difference, the 13, the 17 split, I call it in HOTS. This is almost the impossible position to know when to come back from, unless they can get a strong hit, and they would be taking out someone like Leeming or Cassia for a team fight.
Murky's egg is down now, so he's actually in a long spawn time now, but there we see the Earthquake comes out from Thrall, but it's not going to be enough because he gets absolutely melted. Drag comes out from St. Oz back into the core. That sacred sweep, again, we talked about it in the center. Blinds Uther, Anubarak, and Dahaka. Ball Lightning now jumping between them two aforementioned in the back line, but Anubarak falls, as does, that was Uther in his spirit form. A drag comes out from St. Oz, but there's really nothing to complement St. Oz's drag. He's been the standout player for Nova and Out easily here. He has, but poor Gorgoroth has done nothing but die in the bot lane. I know that's what Murky does, but got little to no damage on that bottom tower. And DK now in the hands of top 10. Disco, this is GG.
Oh yeah, I would be surprised if no one out pull out the Magic Felix trigger bags right now. But it's not going to be enough. And it is Dad Betrayals taking on Dragonshire. It was just, there's not really, I don't think there's really a lot to sort of comment about in the game. Just Dad Betrayals, you can see they understood the map mechanics just a little bit better. Nova and I didn't mind their drafting. Like, they had a plan in place, and I think that even the ban on Cho'Gath, while it was a bit why ban Cho'Gath, you did have the bans on Tychus, and you did have Oriel sitting there for Dad Betrayals. So there's thought, they're there, they're thinking about how they want to play a game, and less about the meta construction itself. But I think that's what they need to sort of take away from this game. They need to look at, all right, what's a bit more meta on this map, and how should we be playing these characters? Murky died, a combined total of 3 times. That's on the scoreboard. That's at least, what is it? I think it's like 2.5 each time or something. So plausibly, that's like about 12 deaths there, right? He had the highest XP contribution. That should be higher. That should be massive. Murky should be getting so much experience for the team. His deaths shouldn't be that high, and he should have way more experience. So, well,
time to pick an MVP, Disco. Who does your analytical eye cast itself over for this game?
It's a bit of a tricky game, this one here, because it really was Dad Betrayals just being a higher class of team. Just they had their rotations down packed. I'm probably going to have to, at the end of the day, give it to. Let's just go for raw damage here. Let's give it to Cassia Trash Boat. They're clocking in 70k hero damage. That's a ton, right? So that means they're getting into the fight. They're getting close. Cassia is a ranged hero, but she's like Rexar range hero, so it's not that far. She has to get in, and she's getting nice and close to deal the damage. She's putting the damage on the right targets, because you saw Uther get punished. You saw Thrall get punished. So yeah, I'd have to give my MVP nomination to Trash Boat on Cassia.
Look, I'd have to agree with you just for the simple fact that the next best damage dealer, I mean, you had Li Ming in there who was only able to deal out 40k. That's a full 30,000 damage more than your next best DPS dealer. So when you just look at the sheer numbers, I think it's a no-brainer. Congratulations to Trash Boat. You got yourself a nomination into the GameStar MVP program. But that was only game number 3, ladies and gentlemen. We've got one more coming at you. But for now, I'm going to pass you back over to your host, Vandy.
Thanks very much, Kitfox and Disconcur. Another interesting match on our hands on Dragonshire. So definitely could not pick it from the draft, and then seeing it being executed, very interesting game. And for all of those of you who've tuned in, we do have another draw going. Make sure you get your !GS HOTS in chat, so you can have a chance to win a Genji or Diva bundle. But as well, if you haven't already, be sure to give GameStar a follow on Twitter, on Facebook, and also you can check out our Meet the Caster series. But we're going to be back. We're just taking a short break while we wait for the rest of the games to finish up, and we'll be back in just a moment.